The San Antonio Spurs officially wrapped up their 2026 NBA Summer League, and while wins and losses don't tell the whole story, this year's event gave fans something much more valuable: a glimpse into the franchise's future. For a team that's already building around Victor Wembanyama, Stephen Castle, Dylan Harper, and an exciting young core, Summer League wasn't about chasing a championship. It was about discovering who could carve out meaningful roles when training camp begins. And after 4 games, several players made strong cases. Ja'Kobi Gillespie emerged as the offensive engine, leading the Spurs in scoring while showing he may be much more NBA-ready than many expected. Second-year forward Carter Bryant reminded everyone why the organization has remained so patient with his development. Terrace Reed Jr. quietly established himself as one of the most physical rebounders in Las Vegas. And although his statistics won't jump off the page, Malik Brown flashed exactly why the Spurs drafted him: elite defensive instincts that don't always show up in the box score. Today, we're breaking down the biggest takeaways from the Spurs Summer League. Who exceeded expectations? Who helped themselves the most? And who might have earned real NBA minutes this season? Let's get into it. Ja'Kobi Gillespie stole the show. If there was one player who consistently looked like he belonged on an NBA floor, it was Ja'Kobi Gillespie. He finished Summer League averaging 16 points, 5.2 assists, 2.2 steals. Those numbers alone are impressive, but the way he produced them may be even more encouraging. Throughout Summer League, Gillespie looked comfortable controlling the offense. He wasn't rushing, he wasn't forcing bad shots, he wasn't overwhelmed by NBA speed. Instead, he looked like a floor general. Every possession seemed under control. One of the biggest concerns surrounding smaller guards entering the NBA is whether they'll be able to create separation against longer, quicker defenders. Gillespie answered that question repeatedly. His change of pace was excellent. He manipulated defenders with hesitation dribbles. He got into the paint. He found open shooters. And when defenses went under screens, he confidently knocked down perimeter jumpers. The defining performance came against the Utah Jazz. He exploded for 25 points while shooting 10 of 21 from the field and knocking down 3 triples. That wasn't empty scoring. Many of those baskets came against set defenses. He scored off pick and rolls. He finished difficult floaters. He hit pull-up jumpers. He attacked closeouts. It was a complete offensive performance. But what stood out most wasn't even the scoring. It was his decision-making. Every possession had purpose. That's something young guards often struggle with. Instead of hunting highlights, Gillespie simply made winning basketball plays. Defense was just as impressive. The offensive production deserved attention, but his defensive activity may have surprised even more people. Averaging 2.2 steals isn't an accident. He consistently disrupted passing lanes. He anticipated actions before they developed. He pressured opposing ball handlers from baseline to baseline. For a player entering the league without elite size, creating turnovers becomes one of the easiest ways to earn minutes. That's exactly what Gillespie did. The Spurs value guards who compete defensively. They don't need every guard to become an all-defensive player. They simply need consistent effort. Gillespie brought that every night. He fought through screens. He recovered quickly. He stayed attached to shooters. He communicated. Those little details matter tremendously within San Antonio's defensive system. The playmaking may be his best skill. While the scoring headlines grabbed attention, Gillespie's passing may ultimately become what separates him. He averaged over 5 assists despite constantly playing unfamiliar teammates. That number could have been even higher if more open shots had fallen. He made advanced reads, skip passes, pocket passes, drive and kick opportunities, transition hit-ahead passes. Everything looked natural. His feel for the game stood out. Sometimes Summer League becomes an individual showcase where players chase statistics. Gillespie played winning basketball instead. That's exactly what NBA coaches want to see. Carter Bryant looks ready for the next step.
The biggest difference between this summer league and last year's? Confidence. Carter Bryant looked like a completely different player. Instead of trying to figure out where he belonged, he played like someone who already knew. He averaged 15.5 points during his appearances, while displaying far more offensive aggression than fans saw during portions of his rookie season. His best performance came against the New York Knicks. Bryant poured in 19 points while shooting an incredibly efficient 7 from 10 from the field. That efficiency matters. Anyone can score by taking 25 shots. Bryant scored within the offense. He didn't force difficult attempts. He attacked when opportunities presented themselves. He let the game come naturally. That level of maturity is exactly what coaches hope to see entering year 2. His shooting continues to improve. Perhaps the biggest development is Bryant's perimeter shooting. His mechanics look smoother. His release looks quicker. His confidence appears much higher. Instead of hesitating, he immediately stepped in to catch and shoot opportunities. That changes everything. Spacing is essential in today's NBA. Playing alongside stars requires role players who can punish defensive rotations. Bryant showed he can become that player. If defenders have to respect his jumper, driving lanes suddenly become much larger for players like Victor Wembanyama, Stephen Castle, and Dylan Harper. That's how role players create enormous value.
The athleticism has always been there. Bryant has never lacked athletic tools, length, explosiveness, versatility. Those traits have always been obvious. Now, the basketball instincts are beginning to catch up. He defended multiple positions. He finished in transition. He attacked closeouts. He rebounded well. Everything looked faster, not because he became more athletic, but because he processed the game more quickly. Young players often experience this leap during year 2. The game simply slows down. Bryant appears to have reached that point.
Tarris Reed Jr. did exactly what the Spurs needed. Not every impressive summer league performance comes through scoring. Sometimes doing the dirty work matters far more. That's exactly what Tarris Reed Jr. provided. His averages won't dominate headlines: 7.7 points, 8.7 rebounds, 23.1 minutes per game. But those numbers only tell part of the story. Reed established himself as arguably the team's most physical interior presence. Every possession became a battle. He boxed out relentlessly. He fought for loose balls. He set hard screens. He protected the paint. He embraced contact. Those qualities don't always appear in highlight videos, but NBA coaches love players willing to do those things consistently. His rebounding translates immediately. Nearly 9 rebounds per game in limited minutes is impressive, especially considering Summer League features numerous athletic big men competing for roster spots. Reed wasn't simply grabbing uncontested rebounds. He earned them. Offensive rebounds, traffic rebounds, tip-outs, second effort plays. He created extra possessions. That's a skill. Rebounding isn't only about size. It's anticipation, positioning, motor, physicality. Reed demonstrated all 4. Those are traits that usually translate extremely well to the NBA. His screen setting deserves more attention. One underrated aspect of Reed's game is screen setting. It sounds simple, but setting effective NBA screens is incredibly difficult. Reed consistently created separation for guards. He made defenders collide. He opened driving lanes. He rolled hard toward the rim. Those details create offensive flow. Players who consistently create advantages without needing the basketball often earn rotational minutes faster than expected. Reed could become exactly that kind of player. Malik Brown's impact goes far beyond the box score. Looking only at the statistics, 4.7 points, 3.7 rebounds, 1.0 steal, some fans may wonder whether he struggled. The answer is no. Brown's value has never been measured solely through scoring. His defensive versatility remains his greatest strength. Throughout Summer League, he defended guards, forwards, centers, switches, pick and rolls, closeouts. He looked comfortable everywhere. Few young players possess that kind of defensive IQ. His defensive upside was on full display. As Summer League progressed, Brown became more comfortable. His rotations improved, his timing improved, his confidence improved. Suddenly, fans began seeing exactly why scouts loved his defensive potential entering the draft. He anticipated passing lanes, he rotated early, he challenged shots without fouling, he communicated constantly. Those are winning habits. Sometimes great defense doesn't produce massive statistics. It simply prevents points from happening in the first place. That's exactly what Brown provided.
The Spurs are building an identity. One theme emerged throughout Summer League: defense, effort, unselfishness, basketball IQ. Those four qualities describe nearly every young Spur who impressed. That's not an accident. It's organizational philosophy. The Spurs continue targeting players who understand team basketball. Rather than chasing individual stars, they're assembling complementary pieces, players willing to defend, pass, move without the ball, compete every possession. Summer League reflected that identity. Who helped their NBA case the most? If we're ranking who improved their stock the most, here's how it looks. Ja'Kobi Gillespie probably made the biggest leap. He demonstrated legitimate backup point guard potential. His scoring, playmaking, and defensive intensity consistently stood out. Bryant reinforced that he's ready for a larger role. Instead of looking like a developmental project, he looked like an NBA rotation player sharpening his game. Tarris Reed Jr. proved that physicality still matters. He may not fill up scoring columns, but his rebounding and toughness could make him valuable much sooner than expected. Malik Brown reminded everyone that elite defenders don't always produce eye-popping statistics. His defensive instincts could eventually become one of the hidden gems of this rookie class. What this means for training camp. Summer League doesn't guarantee NBA success. We've seen plenty of Summer League stars disappear once the regular season begins. We've also seen quiet Summer League performers develop into outstanding NBA players. The important thing isn't the numbers, it's the habits, decision-making, effort, defensive discipline, confidence. All four players displayed those qualities. Training camp will now become extremely competitive. Gillespie has likely earned an opportunity to compete for backup point guard responsibilities. Bryant appears prepared to challenge for consistent rotation minutes. Reed should immediately compete for reserve front court opportunities because rebounding always translates. Brown could quickly become one of those coaches' favorites thanks to his defensive versatility. Competition makes teams better. The Spurs suddenly have plenty of it. The bigger picture. Perhaps the most exciting takeaway isn't any individual performance, it's the depth. For years, San Antonio depended heavily on finding one franchise-changing player. Now they're building something much deeper. Victor Wembanyama remains the centerpiece. Stephon Castle continues developing. Dylan Harper brings another dynamic offensive weapon. Now add players like Gillespie, Bryant, Reed, and Brown continuing to improve. Suddenly, the Spurs aren't just building stars, they're building sustainable depth. Championship contenders rarely rely on only 2 or 3 players. They succeed because their 8th, 9th, and 10th men consistently impact winning. Summer League suggested San Antonio may already be developing exactly that type of roster. Final thoughts. Overall, this was an extremely encouraging Summer League for the San Antonio Spurs. Ja'Kobi Gillespie established himself as one of the breakout guards of the tournament, combining 16.0 points, 5.2 assists, and 2.2 steals with poise, leadership, and a memorable 25-point performance against Utah. He looked every bit like a player capable of pushing for NBA minutes sooner than later. Bryant reinforced that he's ready for a larger role. Instead of looking like a developmental project, he looked like an NBA rotation player sharpening his game. Terrace Reed Jr. proved that physicality still matters. He may not fill up scoring columns, but his rebounding and toughness could make him valuable much sooner than expected. And while Malik Brown's scoring numbers remained modest, his defensive instincts, versatility, and basketball IQ became more apparent with each game. By the end of Summer League, he was flashing the disruptive defensive potential that could eventually become one of the Spurs' most valuable role players.
None of these performances guarantee regular season success, but they do provide something every Spurs fan should be excited about: meaningful progress. The young talent is developing, the depth is improving, and the organization continues to add players who fit its identity of toughness, intelligence, and unselfish basketball. The future in San Antonio doesn't rest on one player alone. It's being built by an entire wave of young talent growing together. If even 2 or 3 of these Summer League standouts carry this momentum into training camp in the regular season, the Spurs will be deeper, more competitive, and one step closer to becoming one of the NBA's most dangerous young teams. Which Summer League Spur impressed you the most? Ja'Kobi Gillespie, Bryant, Tarris Reed Jr, or Malik Brown? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.